Welcome back to the English broadcast of the LPL. We are getting ready for quite the hyped match. I'm PiraTecnics, joined by Froskurinn here, and we will be getting into game number 1 of what is sure to be an amazing set. A lot riding on this one. Frosk, you want to take this away?
Yeah, so first and foremost, it's going to be World Elite versus OMG. The most obvious standout thing is the fact that both these teams are right now tied for first place. So this match will decide who is definitively in first, but we're already going into the roster lineup. You can hear the crowd going wild. That is going to be Salmei in the top lane.
They love him.
Oh, the most popular League of Legends player in the world. The amount of votes that he got for All-Stars was unreal. Right now, obviously, last 3 played Champions, playing that Jax. I would say probably the clash of the Titans in the top lane. These are probably the best top laners in LPL facing off today.
I think so too. And I want to rename, by the way. They want to make a new show, actually, for him called Everybody Loves Salmei. But he's not the only one on that team. Axine, coming over from Korea. He used to play on the Jin Air Stealths, actually. You've seen he's been enjoying the Lee Sin as well as Rengar.
In the mid, it's going to be Ninja. The Korean players on World Elite have the nicknames Bear and Rabbit, likewise, which is why you see the little bunny airs being put above his head.
Every time.
Every single time. Ninja's found a lot of success on utility-style mids. He's starting to branch out into Jace. We saw a little bit of Xerath. I believe he got a pentakill on Jace, so... But typically, it's kind of like a Lulu, and this being the reason why Wei Xiao, again, the crowd goes wild. Godfather of 80 carries. Has had an amazing split. People are like, is Wei Xiao back? Is he back to form? He truly looks probably better than he has in a very long time, which is, again, we talk about Ninja typically plays Lulu. The reason being is they want to put as much power on Wei Xiao as possible right now. Joining Wei Xiao in the bot lane is going to be Conan the Barbarian.
He plays the Mustache Man, too, recently.
Really good Leona, too.
He does. Not so much on the AP Champs minus Morgana. We've seen that played recently, too. He didn't have too much luck. I think he's found his rhythm recently, though.
He thrives in the roaming support meta, although he was the OG of the Vel'Koz support there. He 1v1 Chuan last split on his Lee Sin versus Vel'Koz support and came out ahead, so, you know, Conan, he's got a little something on the extra.
Of course, on the other side, a team in a bit of turbulence as you look at their recent results. It is, of course, OMG. Still top of the table right now, sharing it with a couple other teams, including their opponents tonight. See if they can take this one. They split their last couple of sets, and actually, both these teams, they split their last set against each other. The only time they played each other in the LPL this season, back in week 2.
Camera guy got a little bit confused, but you are right. They have seen some turbulence. Of course, we're going to take up the support. This is going to be Cloud. He's a solo queue player, so Pomelo and Alan. Pomelo obviously benched right now. Alan moved from support, now drug into the jungle, so this is going to be Cloud. His Thresh play is god tier. Hubo likes to say that with given enough time that he will be the best support in China. Next to him, of course, San, Emperor San.
All Kog'Maw for him recently. Pretty solid player all round in general. He's going to have a tough time against Wei Xiao, though, if they go for the 2v2.
San isn't known for his lane presence. He's much better in fights. Although, hold on a second, because we got to talk about Cool, of course, in the mid lane, making that return from his eye injury. Has had fantastic showings on every single champion. Brought out the Fizz. His Twisted Fate was amazing. His Xerath, definitely one of the best players in the world. Most likely the best player in China. Of course, joining him in that 2v2 jungle mid lane is going to be Drug or Alan or Lovelane, whatever you want to call him.
Might have to change his name to Lee Sin because he's looking with the shaved head. Of course, he had to do that because it was a little too hot in his house. The same thing with Cool.
Their synergy unmatched. They shave their heads together.
Yeah, they're all about doing things together. And then, of course, rounding out top lane, one of the most recognizable members of the OMG team is, of course, Going.
He goes. Picking up the Mundo has the Ryze pocket pick. His Ryze is probably best in China as far as the top lane. When people beat Going's Ryze, that's like that's something that they put on their resume when going for another team. Hey, I beat Going on his Ryze. I'm impressive. Pick me up.
I got the 1v1 against it and I survived. They make T-shirts out of that in China.
But big story is, I feel that OMG World Elite. I talk about how. I feel like the top 3 teams, EDG, OMG, and World Elite, currently are kind of like a rock, paper, scissors. EDG can beat OMG. World Elite can obviously beat EDG. We saw that in IEM. And OMG, I feel like should be able to beat World Elite just because of where their strong points are on the team. You think, who's incredibly powerful in OMG? It's going to be Cool, obviously kind of the big standout. Ninja, not that he hasn't had a lot of success, but he almost has the same problem that Xiong had when he played for OMG, and it's a champion pool issue. Not saying that his champion pool, like he can't play champions like Twisted Fate, but he hasn't found success on them. He finds success on Ziggs, he finds success on Lulu. Jace was kind of like a throw catch-all in there. We'll see if he can do it again, but typically, again, it's that utility mid style where World Elite really finds their synergy.
Now into picks and bans. Lee Sin taken away immediately. Won't get to see the Blind Monk taking up this game. And then, of course, Cast and Jax. Pretty much have to ban the Jax against Sao Mei, so I completely agree with that for OMG.
Again, we saw that San had a bunch of Corki on his record, has been showing very well on that champion. Wei Xiao doesn't need to rely on Kog'Maw. He's got that Corki pocket pick that he's been showing favorably on. And there's the insta-lock for Lulu.
Oh, yeah, left it on the table. That is might be a mistake, but we'll see how it goes. It has the flex option. Could be either Ninja or Sao Mei, but most likely in the top lane, I think.
No, I definitely think it's going to be Ninja, actually.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yes. 110%. Like I said, World Elite, they have a very specific strategy in what goes well for them. Sao Mei runs the teleport, typically Gragas or Kale, because he's very good at the map pressure game. You could do Jax, something like that. Ninja's going to get that Lulu, that utility, and he's going to work as a mid-bridge and supply all of his power over to Wei Xiao. The carries for World Elite cannot be understated. It's Wei Xiao and Sao Mei.
Oh, thinking about the Mummy for just a minute, but they do lock in Brahms. Back to Evelyn, back to Rengar. Stealth is OP in Shine, and they end up locking in Rengar for Axine.
Makes sense. Axine's style of jungle, very carry heavy. I'm curious what Drug's going to do. A lot of teams kind of coming out to the gate. Obviously, when Loveland moved back over to the jungle, people were targeting the jungle, thinking that he hasn't played it for a while. He's got a weak champion pool. His champion pool has showed so much depth in it. He's so versatile despite not being in the jungle for so long. Has made a very magnificent comeback. Now, Annie actually being hovered over. Nope, going to switch it over for Jarvan. Figured that was going to be the case.
It would be a little bit odd to see the Annie pick up, especially since they don't know 100% for sure, and Lulu would be able to poke out easily. Oh, Lucian might make an appearance here for San. He does like that champion. I don't know if it'd really be his first priority, though. I guess it is.
Kog'Maw was definitely his first priority. I feel like this is going to be the quirky answer from Wei Xiao. That said, this is very obvious. Oh, you are right.
Okay. So, yeah, we do have Lulu in the top. I got you on that one. But
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I was sort of weirded out for a second because Twisted Fate made it through, and then he was running the right summoners for it, but then he switched. So Xerath in the mid lane, and you're right, Wei Xiao on the Corki pickup. This will be at Sao Mei on Lulu.
Supports, Morgana's available.
Yeah, she's on the table.
Available. It's hard because I haven't seen Cloud.
Whoa, is he going to go for the Leona pick? This is a lot of hard engage.
With his playstyle, you think his reputation is he's a solo queue player. For his team, especially for OMG, kind of his most recent performance, it's all about him making the play. Leona obviously offers a lot of that to him. Oh, switching up at the last second.
I think I like this a little bit better, actually. It's a nice, safer disengage if things go wrong in the early game, and they have to be able to get out of bad spots with a Xerath. They're going to face down a Ninja later on in the game. Kiting becomes incredibly important, and being able to dodge away becomes incredibly important.
So looking across the compositions right now, I feel like internationally, other regions do not realize how to utilize Xerath, but I feel like China and Korea specifically have a very good grasp on this. Xerath is used in combination as in Monte Cristo likes to call it an over-the-top composition, and what that is he stands back, obviously, and he's going to LeBron James Rain of Hell down onto your backline and kind of snipe away that 80 carry, snipe away low mobile mids like Ziggs back there. He needs to be used in conjunction with either, you'll see him used with Kog'Maw, with Ezreal. Typically, again, that semi-global presence from the ultimate, they're able to throw their ultimates back there to help stack on top of Xerath. With Jax and with Rengar, again, it's all about getting someone to that backline. I see so many teams internationally will like pick up Xerath and they'll have nothing to follow up on his long-range snipe, and they just get so spread out and collapsed on and just ripped apart from the inside.
I think this is definitely going to be a different style of play, just because they certainly know how to play this year. And Xerath is a pretty interesting pickup. I don't think it was 100% expected on the side of OMG. We'll see if it works out, though. As both teams are going to be loading up onto the Rift. Game number 1. This is going to be a great matchup, Frosk. I'm excited.
I'm curious to see how hard OMG can perhaps tilt. I feel if OMG doesn't win the first set, it's going to be a 2-0 sweep from World Elite. That said, World Elite's weakness is in their lack of creativity. Like I said, they have a very specific formula that declares victory for them. I feel like they got that formula this time, so it should be a very strong showing from them. But OMG, they've been known to tilt. If they lose the first game, I feel like it's going to kind of be a downward spiral. But we're on the Rift, so we'll see how it turns out.
We'll see how it turns out indeed. World Elite going to be spawning on the blue side, OMG on the red. First items being bought. Ooh, Lulu taking the Biscuit Masters. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Listen to the crowd. Just insane. Obviously, World Elite is kind of the TSM of China, but cannot be understated how popular OMG is. These are...
I think OMG is the Cloud9.
These are the Titans clashing.
Big time. Speaking of Titans, that Xerath skin, that's pretty cool, actually. Comes straight out of one of those adaptations. What's Drug doing? They're following him around. He's just going to be staying safe. Line of scrimmage, though. No lane swaps just yet.
Ninja got the first hit. GG, it's over.
Yep. Oh, whoa, that bouncing bomb. That went the wrong way.
Just flew out of his hand.
Where'd that bomb go?
Line of scrimmage being shown up for these teams. Again, it's so... I was talking about how kind of like the matchup is very unique for OMG versus World Elite. You think like the mid matchup, it's definitely going to go into Cool's favor. I feel like Xiaomei and Go-Going are very, very even, although I feel like Xiaomei has a little bit of a better grasp over map pressure. But Go-Going, as far as what he's able to do in a lane at 1v1, pretty much unmatched. So very curious the playstyle matchups going down there. San and Wei Xiao, where Ninja lacks in the mid lane, where Cool should overtake him, I feel like Wei Xiao is going to... step up over San, especially in the lane phase. Again, San's strength isn't in the lane phase. He needs a very strong support to pretty much hard carry him through that. His teamfight presence, on point, but Wei Xiao has been so perfect in lane, in teamfight, making the correct shot calls that he needs, has really matured as a player.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely started to come through in the performance as Ninja and Cool keep trading each other out. Ninja's definitely getting the better, though. He's been able to dodge all the damage and not use nearly as much mana. It's cool, but he has himself some regeneration, and we will see standard lanes so far. Conan and Wei Xiao taking the field as buffs are getting started. Top side for both junglers.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious if they're starting top side. They shouldn't be going for early ganks bottom. It tells me that they're going to be spending a little bit more time in the jungle, although we could see early ganks on that mid lane.
No leash either for Drug. He says that's okay. I'm fine with just the one.
See if they're going to kick Conan out of the lane again. Talk about Conan isn't really well known for his lane mechanics. He does far better in the roam. Obviously, that also allows Wei Xiao to pick up that solo EXP and gold.
They're going to try to play it safe, I think, though. Here you see that when you do take a Nami early on, you definitely want to not give up a lot of early kills. Conan takes a lot of poke, but he's more than happy to do that as Braum because Corki can pretty much just backline poke it out. Whoa, Piercing Light comes in, though. He has to be careful not to trade too much damage on, although Wei Xiao, very experienced in his role. He's been around for a long time in the LPL.
He's been around for a long time in general.
One of the older players, actually, in this league, and, you know, that's pretty much the old guard.
Effectively so. They've lost kind of some other points of their lineup. Xiaomei, though, and Wei Xiao, definitely familiar faces. The difference in playstyle between like Nami versus Braum, and I think it's highlighted really well in kind of the positioning. Nami is what I like to call a defensive support. She doesn't create the zone, but she empowers her AD carry to create the zone. In this case, it's going to be with her E on Lucian, whereas Braum is going to create the zone for his AD carry, which is why you see him standing so much far forward with his Q.
Drug, though. He's waiting for Xiaomei to get close, not quite revealing, just getting to the edge of the brush, ready to spring out into action, and here comes Go-Going. Drug will go in, sensing something wrong. Xiaomei may not be able to get out of this one, and that's first blood.
Really nice, Drug. Yeah, very nice coordination to perfectly sync and chain that CC up. Xiaomei didn't even get a chance to burn the flash there.
I think he knew he was done for. So he will go back, get himself another Doran's Ring. Now he's got a set of 2 as he returns to the top lane. Keeping up in farm relatively well, though.
Doing a good job to make sure that he's not burning the teleport either because the wave is shoved, so it's not like he needs to expend it to secure any CS that he might miss. So a little bit of a silver lining there.
And you look at the way that Ninja in the mid lane has actually been able to keep cool from really picking up any core items early. He forced him back already, and that meant that he couldn't finish his chalice just yet. That's a pretty big win for him.
Oh, definitely. I like the fact, the thing with Xerath is he's very mana hungry. You kind of almost have to pick late game or early game. Am I going to poke this guy and harass him, or am I going to shove the wave? And the fact that Ninja chose, you know, I'm going to shove the wave, deny him the CS, and try to get an item advantage. Definitely.
I guess it didn't quite work.
A key point. He does have a pink ward though.
Yeah, that was a little bit of extra investment, but he had to pick up boots on top of the Fairy Charm too.
Makes sense against the bouncing bombs of Ziggs.
Yeah, definitely. Sustain out just a little bit. Regen if you can. Regen that mana. So, San getting poked back under his own tower, but Wei Zhao is not exactly looking as healthy as he could be. Conan is really the big player in this, trying to stay alive, so let's see if they can poke it out. Cloud trying to make an opening for his carry, but I think this will be a pretty safe farm lane, unless Wei Zhao wants to make something happen.
The issue is, I mean, San, he could have a late game Lucian build available to him, obviously. BT has been changed, we're not that far back in the patches, but Lucian typically doesn't want to go even in lane. He's still kind of that 2v1 god tier champion, but Wei Xiao and Conan doing a great job realizing that, hey, you know, if we keep this wave pushed against them, then he doesn't get to have free pot shots on us, so doing a good job abusing the relic shield.
Very true. Because, yeah, Braum is that champion that has to create a zone by marching straight into your face.
Helps when he has a huge horde of minions behind him.
And a giant shield. It's actually a door. Doesn't hurt.
Is it
It's a smashing door. It's a smashing door. Or wait, shield becomes smashing door. Now I remember the line. Whoa, Ninja. Bouncing bomb to the face.
We do see Drug, though, hovering
He is
around
coming
the mid
around
lane.
the side. He's already got one successful gank under his belt. Will he be allowed to get another one? I think the game sense is tingling for Ninja. He's been in this situation before. Xerath is a really scary champion to wander out in front of the lane with. He's much more suited to the backline, kind of Vel'Koz-like in that way.
He's effectively the better Vel'Koz at this point as far as the mid lane context is concerned.
Lasers fired.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, that happened. We're gonna leave it at that.
I'd hope Vel'Koz would see what you did there too. Am
I
trying
think he
too
did
hard?
too.
Ooh,
Oh, I have
cast.
Siren. Whoa, go going. That's an explosive cast as Xiaomei tries desperately to get out of this one. He's being chased down though. Flash burned. He's going to go for the body slam. A couple more auto attacks. Taking tower aggro. He's low. Heavy commitment and he gets the kill but burns his flash on the way out. Nicely played.
Obviously just abusing the fact that early gank gave him the EXP advantage. Allowed him to get that level 6 as soon as he had the opportunity. Again, we talked about Gogoing's particular laning style. He's very good in the 1v1. He likes to take advantage. He likes to draw attention to himself top. Almost slightly PDD-esque in that sense, although he's more about that utility tank bruiser line as opposed to like a hard carry like Kayle or Jax. But kind of the same mentality of, hey, look at me, I'm toppling, you have to come fight me.
PDD may not be playing anymore in the LPL, but he certainly has a legacy that is being upheld by many top laners. Especially in a region that's so known for stacked ADCs too. They have to definitely go above and beyond to get themselves out there in their name. And both these top laners I think have done it too. Gogoing, Xiaomei, extremely popular.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head, absolutely. A lot of people look at the AD carries and completely overlook the top laners, but you have to understand that because the region is so centralized and focused on AD carries, the top laners pick up so much slack in creating zone control. Zone control from the top laners, unmatched in any other region. They are far above and superior in their understanding of how team fights work and where they need to be for their team.
It's good that they've picked up these two champions too. Very supporting style actually out of them, as you see. Gogoing probably going to be going for the AP but bruiser heavy build since he's got the catalyst already to go up into the Roa. I think this works really nice to bridge the gap between mid and late game when Gragas, full tank Gragas, tends to fall off.
Absolutely right. Also going to add a lot of versatility to his team and what he's able to do. Not only be a tank, but to provide sufficient wave clear. So they have Ziggs, they have Gragas. If one of those two champions goes down, you still can't really siege a tower effectively.
Yeah, and he's been picking up a big amount of farm too. That extra gank really helped him out a lot as he's kind of rolling forward. So Xiaomei finding himself on the losing end of a matchup that he frankly shouldn't be.
Has that early Lulu power. That said, we'll see how he's able to utilize that teleport, either with the wild growth or with split push Lulu. Lulu has great wave clear late game as well, with the glitter lance.
Yeah, and then we have, who we haven't really seen much of this game, Axine he's been going for the Rengar Feral Flare build, of course, and he's got his cooldown boots already, so he's rushing for that. But as a result, he just hasn't been able to make a big impact, and now he's going to get found out by Drug, who wants to duel him out. Lance to Claw. That ward's going to survive for just a moment.
Scumbag Drug with the Dragon Lance.
Dragon Lance. It's OP, isn't it? Oh, what is Ninja? Yeah, he is. Ninja and Axion are looking for that. Oh, the bullet doesn't connect, but he does force the flash out of Drug. That was lightning warfare from Axion and Ninja.
Very quick turn right there. It's gonna get the race for a consolation prize. Will he get the big one? Nope, just two small ones.
Leave it alone. Cool. But going back in the lane, he dips and dodges out. Every time I see that ability from Xerath, I always think there's a teleport coming in, and I'm like, I'm waiting for it. Oh wait, that wasn't a teleport.
I like the particles on it. I like the semi-global presence that Xerath has relatively early. You have to think if Ninja did a good job rotating over to try to follow the ultimate from SOS, but if he hadn't, he probably could have reached that fight with his R.
Yeah, he might have been able to. It's got a ridiculous range on it. It's like one of those, you ever play the old arcade games that you're like a little plane and you're trying to take out a whole ton of planes, you get hit once, you go down. I think they're called shoot-em-ups. Oh, we'll talk about it later. Xiaomei, Wild Growth, there's the birds and Drug. He's going towards the wrong side of the tower and the minions are following him. This should be a cleanup for Going, and he's actually just gonna not even require the help of Drug. One more auto attack will do it, empowered as it was.
Drug has complete control over that top lane. I believe that's his third time showing up there. 2 successful ganks back-to-back. Xiaomei got the 1v1 on his own. Excuse me, Going got the 1v1 on his own. No Dragon response from World Elite here to the amount of time that Drug has been spending. This is 11 minutes, so I feel like it's available to them, and I don't know if it's because Cool is doing a good job making sure that Ninja can't roam over and they don't want to force a slight numbers advantage and possibly lose a swing of power here or what, but there's been a lack of response across the board from World Elite.
I don't think they really had a huge plan in here, and meanwhile you have OMG's plan. Guys, here's the game plan. We're going to get the Gragas fed. Oh, there's an ult. Oh, flashing away Cool, staying alive. Staying cool, as it were. And he avoids the nuclear missiles from Ninja.
Good attempt. Finally, a response.
Seemed a little half-hearted, though. I'm really kind of surprised at World Elite. Just apparent lack of capitalizing on anything. They don't seem to be all together right now.
This fits very much with their MO. You have to think Wei Xiao is their shot caller. The AD carry, he likes to farm up, and you'll constantly see him in other side lanes kind of waiting for his big key items before the team kind of groups up. World Elite as a team, kind of in the context of LPL, do a really good job of slowing down the pace of their games, whereas like normal LPL games, it's like 17 kills to 25 at, 3 minutes into the game, but
that's true.
World Elite has much slower pace, much lower death games than the surrounding LPL teams.
It's funny how you say that, and then you look at like the international matches like OMG, they're pretty much known for the same kind of thing, and then their games start with a whole ton of kills because all the international teams either force the issue or they're just still really quick compared to them.
Look at the amount of early plays being made by Drug, though, to take the blue buff, to make sure that Xiaomei is being ganked repeatedly. See if Axion, again, trying to make something happen.
He might just steal a jungle camp or two. Doesn't really have any idea when that blue buff will be back up. Gonna get seen by Cloud. Oh, the white is angry. It's going to attack Cloud, the nearest thing. That's actually kind of a nice strategy. He said, hey, are you here?
I like how they're ganking the teleport repeatedly. It's very OGN-esque, actually.
Teleport, by the way, is back on cooldown. But yeah, with Going where he's at, he's up a pretty big amount of farm. Should be able to pick up his Roud of Ages, and he does. Ninja and Axion want to make something happen. They've been roaming together, actually, and here's Wei Xiao and Conan. They might look for the dive. Uh-oh, blue buff's up. It's going to be contested. Axion getting bumped up by the satchel charge. Riding the wave is nobody. Whoa, calling around the side, and Cloud's going to get the kill on Axion. This might be the first big fight of the game. Here comes Going, teleporting in. Wei Xiao goes down to Cool, and they keep tossing bombs as Cloud tries to get out of there, and Xiaomei does as well, but he has got nowhere to go, and that's going to be an ace. Clearly going to be a dragon going over in favor of OMG, and they're rocking and rolling, 8 kills to none.
The superior warding there allowed them to get the engagement that they wanted, covering their flanks. Fantastic ult from Son, great positioning. We talked about Son's weaknesses in the lane phase, his strength is in the team fight phase, showed it exactly right there. Big player though was Going on this teleport. So here we have the replay. Axion gonna go ahead and get in. literally gets torn through, just bursted instantaneously.
I don't think he saw Cool around the side till it was too late.
Yeah.
Oh, that Mega Inferno Bomb. That was gigantic. And the barrel. Going came in at the perfect time. And then they melt Wei Zhao. He tries to get away with the Valkyrie. Cool's like, oh, it's okay, I got that. And then Conan and Xiaomei really got nothing else going on. So that was textbook collapse. Well done by OMG.
With that, they get the Dragon. Big swing of power, 0-8 right now in favor of OMG. And this is literally what I was talking about before the game. It's a rock, paper, scissors of these top 3 teams. OMG have the threats in the correct area to counter World Elite and their strategy. Known as a very creative team, as a very skilled team fighting team, and obviously showing their superiority there. See if Wei Zhao can make a comeback though. His Corki, again, known to come back late game, has that pentakill already in LPL.
Yeah, big achievement, but doesn't really mean a whole lot for this game as you've got no kills on him and only a death to show for all of his effort. He does have a Triforce though, will do tons of damage. Whoa! Xiaomei getting knocked back, and Going says, where are you going? Wild Growth, that's what I'm doing right now. Xiaomei waiting around for Axion, and the 1v2 commences. Can Going stay alive and pick a kill onto this Lulu? Wild Growth going down. He's going to flash for it. Oh, man, goodness, this is getting close, and they are going to chase him out at the end of the day. Axion picking it up. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Conan taken low. That's a 3v2, and Drug in there showing face. Wei Zhao's low. Not sure if he wants to take it, burning his flash. San going forward, and he gets himself a kill on the combo with the double tap.
Fantastic job from Axion to finally say, okay, we know that he's going to try to fight you top lane. I need to go and help you out. The Dragon's not there for the threat. The issue, though, is that Drug immediately sees that Axion is top, knows that he can get the gank without fear of counter gank in the bottom lane. He's consistently finding, you know, if something's happening here, I need to be at point B, whereas Axion has really failed to do that.
Yeah, it's the really quick reaction time working in his favor, and because Axion really doesn't have any damage, he's still sitting on the Madrid's Razors, hasn't even gone up to Wriggle's Lantern just yet, and that means that he's going to be trying to get a little bit of jungle farm. Oh, collapse might happen here. That might give him something in just a minute. They get the stun off, and Ninja and Axion going ham on Cool. He's going to go nuclear, can't kite it out. 1-2 shots are all he needs, and Ninja will pick up his first kill of the game, and they'll push on tower number 2.
Overextension from Cool right there, but a fantastic stun from Ninja. Again, Xerath, the longer or the farther away he is when that stun hits you, the longer it'll last. It's on a scaling cooldown, although Going. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's the stun. Going. He's going to try to walk it in. Whoa, Ninja! That is a big barrel, but Drug can't quite get there in time to dish the damage, and the Wild Growth comes in saving his life, as this will be a fight for this mid lane turret. It's getting pretty low. They may want to back off it.
No fear, Going. Look at
no,
that.
none at all. Okay.
All in their face.
Conan wants this fight big time. Winter's Bite not going to connect on anybody, but he's got backup around the side. Save their tower for the time being, and the Ward Wars commence. That's how you know it's mid-game.
When everyone starts clapping for the wards being killed.
Yeah, this is an LCS.
I was watching EU the other day. I know, super rare, but it happens.
Wait, what?
And they, yeah, I know, right? I'm trying to remember who it was. It was the Rocat, the Rocat Gambit game, and literally the game was so slow paced that D-Man gave them a triple kill for killing 3 wards. But hold on a second, because Conan getting caught up.
Yeah, oh, the wave. He actually not going to get it, but the Aqua Prison will land. There's a Mega Inferno Bomb, and he goes down. Looks like he glitched out for just a second, trying out his flash, but it didn't really go as far as he expected it to. Just pick up and collapse by OMG.
That was really the perfect chain CC. The tidal wave into the bubble, into the flag and drag, had him knocked up in the air for 20 seconds there.
Yeah, they really couldn't do much about that, and his tankiness wasn't going to mean much anyways. Now they look for the blue snipe. Don't quite pick it off, but they're starting to roam together well, and they should be able to put some pressure anywhere they want. Big danger now. San might be in a bad spot, clearing out a pink ward by himself, and he's in danger of collapse, but he gets away.
Look at those pink wards around OMG's river right there. They've
really learned the vision game.
Every single bush. But again, what is that covering for you? They don't have necessarily, yeah, they got a pick on Conan, but I wouldn't say that they necessarily have a built-in innate pick comp. They don't have someone like Syndra, someone like LeBlanc who can instantaneously 100-0 anyone. They have decent amounts of chain CC, but... And the fact that Dragon's not going to be up for another minute and a half. Quality versus quantity, guys.
Yeah, maybe they just want to see what the river entrances look like. Well, oh, didn't clear that ward out. Braum going to disengage out of there. So they do have this Dragon side pretty well controlled. But World Elite still threatening wherever they want to go in on this one. Now the roam's coming in. Red buff might be contested here. Axine seeing it. They're going to back away from this and give it away.
Doing a good job pulling it around the back there. Are going to time for Dragon 40 seconds. Mid tower is down. Should mosey up into that mid lane and start to create a pressure point by getting that push past the river.
And Gogoing can teleport this anytime he wants. So Dragon's still 30 seconds, as you mentioned. And they'll let the side lanes push while they wait for this to go. But this gives time for World Elite to mobilize. They want to try and stop this. I'm kind of surprised that Salme isn't going back up to the top trying to maybe save this, but I think he's going to give up on it.
He can't afford to expend his teleport right now. If he wanted to go back, he'd have to physically either walk there, B, and then walk to lane, or as you see him now, kind of mosey underneath those wards.
Trying to get himself some experience. What's he
looking
doing,
at
hiding out
Conan.
in the brush?
He wants the mustache.
Who doesn't want the mustache?
I know.
He's got a red buff already. How can he be envious of things? I heard that.
I've been working on mine for 23 years, Pyro, and it still won't come in.
I'm sorry about that. If you want, you can borrow mine for a week. Shave it off, give it to you. That'd be the weirdest present ever.
Send
it
it back.
FedEx. Oh, that'd be even weirder. Okay, Dragon's going to get started up now. Conan getting poked out just a little bit by Cool. They will get this Dragon. It might be a little late for the engagement. And Axine gets caught up in the wave in the Aqua Prison. They're taking him low. Drug around the side. Mega Inferno Bomb and the Cataclysm will be enough to secure the kill onto Axine. They're still going forward. And OMG, I don't know why World Elite even took that engagement. They seemed half-hearted in it.
The Braum Fissure completely whiffed everything. I think it hit a bush, and that was about it. Meanwhile, a perfect Nami ult from Cloud. We talk about how Cloud was one of the only LPL players who can really play Nami. I would say it's probably Kitty, Zero, and Cloud have the best Nami track record. It just has not panned out for them. But that tidal wave from the side hit all 4 members of World Elite. Fantastic.
Yeah, and the Aqua Prison follow-up, too. That secured Axine easily. They can't clump up like that. Cool just tossed a bomb on their heads, and then they ran screaming in every direction.
I'm waiting for the day that one of the World Elite team members, though, face check all of those brushes and just, like, jackpot of wards.
Oh, yeah. It's like playing the lottery, and you always win. Oh, hey, look, another one. Going to clear out a little jungle camp as he goes up top once again. Conan actually coming around the side with Salme, and they might want to take a pick on the Fat Man, but he's pretty mobile. He's got himself a heavy amount of AP, so he actually is moving up into the heavier AP. Do you think he goes Death Cap here?
Oh, yes. I like the call. And again, we're seeing those distortion boots again. Obviously, no need for home guard. Gives him the reduced cooldown on his flash and his teleport, respectively. Salme, 0-4-1. I've hyped up Salme really well with his teleport, the fact that he really understands in that pressure game. We talked about Going, how he's very much kind of that 1v1 top laner. Again, I cannot emphasize enough. I think this is so intelligent of OMG to continuously gank the teleport. Salme, again, one of the better players at being able to utilize that. By ganking the teleport, you pretty much deny that cooldown, deny any sort of map pressure game that World Elite can play. It's very Korean-esque. You'll see the Korean players, even when it's Mundo top with teleport or Kassadin with teleport, they will gank that relentlessly.
It's really smart, too, that they realized that they still had a pretty good timing window on the bot side to not be engaged upon, as Wei Xiao and Conan needed to ramp up time before they got really hot. So, yeah, great decision-making by OMG and Drug in particular, and it's really paid a lot of dividends. He has amazing kill participation this game. Now we see them.
Sweeping through the wards. Look at all the sweepers. The fact
more
that,
gold, more sweepers.
Okay, so I was talking about quality versus quantity. This is fantastic. They've now picked up all of their pink wards and are now moving them to the next most important objective. Obviously, that Baron at 23 minutes.
That is #1 priority.
Only
Baron.
in China.
Oh, Lord Baron desires, if not a throw, at least someone going on me. Oh, Axine! Drug getting the lockup and the wave coming in. So San will pick that kill up on one more tap, and they go with the Mega Inferno Bomb. That was a lot of damage, and World Elite has to disengage. Axine going down again, and that was barely a fight.
And look at how healthy OMG is. Everything connected. The way that they stacked their ultimates. The Cataclysm was fantastic. The Tidal Wave, again, from Cloud to completely disengage, make sure that there was no way that World Elite could collapse back on SOAS. Now that they picked out the Smite, they're going to turn to Baron. It's not a 50-50 smite because, again, the jungler is dead.
They have a lot of burst damage here, but this is a dangerous fight if they do take too much. They're going to peel off Baron. Cloud on the wrong side. He's going to land the Aqua Prison on nobody. They disengage from the Baron. Conan doing a good job of being big and scary, but do they want this fight? It's a 5v4. Here comes Axion. He's going to come around the side too late, probably, as Going gets taken low. Xiaomei looking for the chase, but his team's not there.
Good response from World Elite, pulling back to the mid lane, knowing that OMG is out of position. They can probably get a free mid tower here.
Yeah, this one's pretty easy. Pretty much a no-brainer as everyone on OMG has to back. They're going to look for a little bit more, too. This actually looked like it was a bit greedy on the side of OMG, and it's definitely being proved right there. Whoa! Zahn going the unsafe way. He gets some damage for it.
Clear fumble. Hopefully he doesn't trade his life. They might lose a second-tier mid-tower. Fantastic recovery from World Elite.
Yeah, that was great. They do save their tower on OMG's side, just barely, but they have to expend a whole lot of resources just to do it. So now it is World Elite that have put the pressure on. However, still got a ways to go to climb out of this gold hole. They're down quite a lot, almost 10,000.
Pretty scary, especially at 25 minutes into the game, 2-13. We'll see if OMG is able to recognize their strength. Obviously, Axion getting a little sneaky, taking away that blue buff from Cool, which is very vital on a champion like Ziggs, although he is caught out in River. They see him, pings are going down.
Yeah, looking for Axion around the side, but I think they'll not be able to catch him this time. He's a pretty quick kitty cat, and he just has been caught way too many times this game, realizing that he has to build a little more tanky. Still not going to get the Feral Flare just yet. He's waiting until the last second possible.
If you want to talk about items, that Majai's that just came out of Ninja's pocket there.
That is a bit cocky. He's got one kill.
The thing that he has going for them is the fact that he's playing Xerath, especially going into the late game. Level 14, 2 levels until he gets his last tier of ultimate, and you think about the range on that ultimate, it's going to be fairly easy to stack that Majai safely because he can, you know, attack people from 4 lanes away.
He's still got to get the kills to make it happen, though, and so far they've only got 2 on the whole game, so he does have a 50% kill rate. I suppose that's pretty good, technically.
And sir, it counts for assists. He can get him.
That's true. He gets a little bit less. That's all right. That's fair. Going gonna check right into Conan, but he's okay. They're both pretty big, those two. Oh, he goes in. Yeah, he really goes going. If that's a word, I'm not entirely certain, but I'm gonna go with it anyways. Whoa, he steals away Blue Wraith. Yeah, that's a big deal. He does. That's a verb that was created specifically for him.
He's the front man for his team right now. The playmaker, no fear.
He's not even built in that tanky too. That's pretty crazy.
The innate tankiness from W on Gragas is pretty unreal. Has his death cap available to him.
Oh, look at this. There's a dragon available, guys. I think we should just go ahead and take this. Yeah, and noticing this, World Elite sort of half-heartedly goes for Baron. They have Ninja backing. It seemed like there was a miscommunication there. They don't want to take it, but they do want to get some ward coverage.
I think they were initially rotating towards that top wave that's really big, but they realized that OMG then has the wave for mid. So they have to quickly try to get back into position to make sure that they don't lose that second tier tower, at least not without a fight.
Yeah, but Wei Zhao, he's on the wrong side of this one, and they realize somebody might be over there, but they'll just clear some wards away instead, trying to reestablish vision of this Baron pit. Like, the most important objective, it seems, is always going back to the Baron.
Especially between these teams. More so World Elite, I feel like their Baron dependency. They effectively don't know how to close out a game unless they have Baron. In this instance, though, they failed to get off in the early game phase, which is kind of uncommon for World Elite. Typically, they do a good job stalling out or slowing down the pace of the early game to something that they want to play, but this time around, 2-13, very uncharacteristic of World Elite.
Well, and you have a Lucian that's hit a massive power spike. He's 5-0. Perfect game so far for him, and has also amazing kill participation. They've really let him get out of control, and at this point, Wei Zhao not feeling so confident to go in a fight against that.
And you think back to their lane phase, how it was pretty much in Conan and Wei Zhao's control. It was just that one dragon fight that really turned Son into this giant monster. It goes back to the fact Son is not known for his lane phase, known for his team fight phase, and OMG did a fantastic job recognizing where his power spike was and getting him involved.
Ninja did a good job getting some poke out. He continues to do it. He can do it from over the wall. That Xerath range is ridiculous.
He can do it from bottom lane.
He needs a missile launcher on his back. That's what it looks like.
Commando Xerath, please.
Oh yeah, you could have that happen, I suppose. Oh wow, look at this. Cloud and Drug trying to get sneaky with the Baron, but they don't. They don't finish that one up. That was very, very odd. And now you see Wei Zhao going around the side looking for a little bit of poke while they do the 4-1 split. Maxine goes invisible. He can find himself a target, but there's 5 members of OMG here. He's probably just going to pop out of stealth. Nothing. Oh, going! He gets onto Wei Zhao. Dishes some damage out. Forces him to back away. Won't be a factor in this fight. And there is the cue for San to go forward. They're now pushing on this one. Still relying on Xiaomei to be pushing in the bot side. He's got teleport available. Colin comes out. Ninja gets the stun off. He's taken a little bit low. Might want to think twice about going in the front. But this tower might be one and done. Axine going around with the bullet. Doesn't land on anybody. And here comes Drug around the side. Going. Kiting out everybody on the side of World Elite. Brahm's going to get his ultimate Glacial Fissure. Not going to pick up a kill. And Wei Zhao will manage to, though. On going. And it's going to be OMG taking themselves a tower. And another kill goes over to Drug as they look to chase out Axine. Still, couldn't quite find him, but nicely played.
And this is why you gank the teleport, because you don't want to play the map pressure game like that. OMG did one better, though. They realized we can't stop Xiaomei. They're going to play this game. We need to engage. Going, fumbled the ball a little bit. He kind of misplayed his cast. He popped Wei Zhao away, but they found the creep wave behind them. Decided, you know, we have to act now. We need to take this tower. The aggression there. Drug obviously coming out huge with that double kill. And they actually might make it 2 globals if they get this top tier tower.
Actually, not really sure if he wanted to go in on that one or not, and this second tower stays very low. It could fall, but San taking the damage. They don't want to engage on that one. Drug leading the front line here, and this is going to be a hasty retreat from OMG. Actually looking for it. That was a nice satchel charge. Possibly saved the life of San there.
Very good disengage. I was very scared for Axine for a second if that bubble had connected. Nice fancy footwork.
Yeah, he was able to dodge it out, but still hasn't been able to find those kills this game and still building relatively tanky. Wei Zhao now going to pick up his red, and every single time, OMG seems to capitalize just a little bit better. They got the bot outer turret with Xiaomei on that one, but then he had to teleport back, or excuse me, had to back in general just to save, and they traded an inner turret for that and almost traded their second tier top.
Much cleaner on these rotations. The big thing, though, is now that World Elite's kind of meeting them halfway and doing better in the team fights, it's almost, you know, too little too late at this point. The gold advantage still heavily weighed in favor of OMG. So yeah, they're coming back and they're finding better fights, but at this point, OMG's just so much more powerful in just a brute force way.
Yeah, they're able to shove these fights in easily, and they don't have to worry too much if they get a little out of position, because San's got himself some escapes. Cool has honestly been able to stay alive extremely well throughout all of this because they haven't really targeted him. There's so many weapons that World Elite has to worry about that they're just trying everything they can to stay alive in the engages.
Also utilizing Jarvan's ability to create a zone for his team with that Cataclysm.
Yeah, that
the
as well.
disengage potential between Gragas and Nami. Just their composition is working well, really well together, and they obviously have a great grasp and understanding of what they want to do with these champions.
They have a game plan definitely a little bit better than World Elite has. I think they just tried to play this one out as generally as they could, and it hasn't really worked out the way they wanted. So OMG, full control of this game. All they have to do, keep pushing it in little by little and edge out World Elite. This is where they're comfortable, and they're going to bait out this Baron. Ooh, that's a death brush if I ever saw one.
World Elite being very smart, going around the top, however, not going to face check just straight out the gate, but that said...
Oh, guys, we forgot about tower number 2. Oh, it's going to go down pretty quickly. Although, here's World Elite around the side. They're getting kited out, and there's the wave. They're looking for the fight now. Cloud going a little too far forward, perhaps. Mega Inferno Bomb makes him think twice about engaging on this one. Axine's going down. He had nowhere to go out the Cataclysm. They don't get themselves a tower, but they do get a clean kill.
Complete misstep. There was no reason to cross that way. Obviously, they got separated. It turned into a 1-4. Effectively a skirmish, while OMG just took their picking and choosing of who they wanted to assassinate. In that case, it was the Smite. This should be a free inhibitor tower. See if World Elite can at least hold off the inhib.
Maybe not 100% free. It will go down. A little bit of poke to help San. It's around the side. Conan gets the Unbreakable off, and he might be going down here. Dashing forward is going to be San and, of course, Drug as they take that one down. Inhibitor going to fall after this is Xiaomei and Conan and Axine. Not available to follow up. They can go straight for Dragon at this point, or they might even want to think about Baron. Oh, San, hello! I wanted that kill. I didn't get it. I'm going to back away now. Xerath ulti coming out. He goes nuclear. Can San escape? Can San get Wei Zhao? Oh, he stays alive. And Drug capitalizing on the overextension. Axine back up down. There's Ninja going down. One Mega Inferno Bomb. Order up as Axine is going to fall as well. Aqua Prison coming up big for Cloud, and they're marching on forward. This is going to be game number 1. OMG cleanly controlled, forcing the surrender at 33.5.
I feel like the biggest mistake was in picks and bans. The fact that World Elite chose to ban Lee Sin as opposed to the Jarvan, which Drug has been showing fantastic results on. Obviously a huge playmaker that game. I feel like every single high point for OMG was led with the Cataclysm, was led with the Flag and Drag. Drug coming out huge and showing, you know what, I haven't been in the jungle that long again, but I found my home.
Big job shutting down Xiaomei and the rest of World Elite. So 1-0 to OMG. That looks like they've had no troubles at all. That's the OMG we expect to see.
I said it before and I'll say it again. It's a rock, paper, scissors. Yes, World Elite was able to take EDG down after EDG 2-0'd OMG, but OMG just has the perfect threats, the perfect playstyle, and the perfect weapons to fill in where World Elite lacks, namely in the mid lane. We talked about the top lane specifically. World Elite, their carries are Wei Xiao and Xiaomei. If you have answers to that, then there's no team.
So that would make OMG the scissors. They cleanly cut through that team.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, well, let's see if this time they can be made of something a little tougher than paper. So World Elite down one game. Currently, going to be sitting then in second place as OMG with that has jumped up one more point in the standings. If OMG takes another one, they're a little bit more out in the lead, but we'll see how it goes going into game number 2. Guys, you've been watching the LPL English broadcast brought to you by Esports Heaven and Games in Asia. We will be back after a quick break.
对，散的这个输出环境是一直都很好，直接就是收割的节奏。
露露之前因为在线上连续被抓死3次之后，即使在这个位置传过来，其实他传的位置还可以，在后面那个位置可以切到人。
但是我们都一直在说，露露的后手传进场是没有意义，
对，没有意义。
你这里如果说不能够把大招给到关键的突进点的话，其实你接下来已经没法打了。
对，而且
他赛的时候他们已经在3v5了，怎么玩，对吧？
对，而且还是一个发育比较劣势的露露。
对，
他就一进场没有伤害啊，他一开始出的一个装备好像就只有一个圣杯，
大圣杯反穿鞋。
打完这波团以后就是一个80开局，也是造成了 WE 很伤。
对，然后就
Blind Monk taking up this game, and then of course Cast and Jax pretty much have to ban the Jax against Xiaomei, so I completely agree with that for OMG.
Again, we saw that San had a bunch of Corki on his record, has been showing very well on that champion. Wei Xiao doesn't need to rely on Kog'Maw. He's got that Corki pocket pick that he's been showing favorably on. And there's the insta-lock for Lulu.
Oh yeah, left it on the table. That is might be a mistake, but we'll see how it goes. It has the flex option. Could be either Ninja or Xiaomei, but most likely in the top lane, I think.
No, I definitely think it's going to be Ninja, actually.
Really? Okay.
Oh, yes. 110%. Like I said, World Elite, they have a very specific strategy and what goes well for them. Xiaomei runs the teleport, typically Gragas or Kale, because he's very good at the map pressure game. You could do Jax, something like that. Ninja's going to get that Lulu, that utility, and he's going to work as a mid-bridge and supply all of his power over to Wei Xiao. The carries for World Elite cannot be understated. It's Wei Xiao and Xiaomei.
Oh, thinking about the Mummy for just a minute, but they do lock in Brahms. Back to Evelyn, back to Rengar. Stealth is OP in China, and they end up locking in Rengar for Axine.
Makes sense. Axine's style of jungle, very carry heavy. I'm curious what Drug's going to do. A lot of teams kind of coming out to the gate. Obviously, when Loveland moved back over to the jungle, people were targeting the jungle, thinking that he hasn't played it for a while. He's got a weak champion pool. His champion pool has showed so much depth in it. He's so versatile despite not being in the jungle for so long. Has made a very magnificent comeback. Now, Annie actually being hovered over. Nope, going to switch it over for Jarvan. Figured that was going to be the case.
It would be a little bit odd to see the Annie pickup, especially since they don't know 100% for sure, and Lulu would be able to poke out easily. Oh, Lucian might make an appearance here for San. He does like that champion. I don't know if it'd really be his first priority, though. I guess it is.
Kog'Maw, of course, joining him in that 2v2 jungle mid lane is going to be Drug or Alan or Loveland, whatever you want to call him.
Might have to change his name to Lee Sin because he's looking with the shaved head, of course. He had to do that because it was a little too hot in his house. The same thing with Cool.
Their synergy, unmatched. They shave their heads together.
Yeah, they're all about doing things together. And then, of course, rounding out top lane, one of the most recognizable members of the OMG team is, of course, Going.
He goes. Picking up the Mundo, has the Ryze pocket pick. His Ryze is probably best in China as far as the top lane. When people beat Going's Ryze, that's like that's something that they put on their resume when going for another team. Hey, I beat Going on his Ryze. I'm impressive. Pick me up.
I got the 1v1 against it, and I survived. They make T-shirts out of that in China.
But big story is, I feel that OMG, World Elite, I talk about how I feel like the top 3 teams, EDG, OMG, and World Elite, currently are kind of like a rock, paper, scissors. EDG can beat OMG. World Elite can obviously beat EDG. We saw that in IEM. And OMG, I feel like should be able to beat World Elite just because of where their strong points are on the team. You think, who's incredibly powerful in OMG? It's going to be Cool, obviously kind of the big standout. Ninja, not that he hasn't had a lot of success, but he almost has the same problem that Xiong had when he played for OMG, and it's a champion pool issue. Not saying that his champion pool, like he can't play champions like Twisted Fate, but he hasn't found success on them. He finds success on Ziggs, he finds success on Lulu. Jace was kind of like a throw catch-all in there. We'll see if he can do it again, but typically, again, it's that utility mid style where World Elite really finds their synergy.
Now into picks and bans. Lee Sin taken away immediately. Won't get to see. Welcome back to the English broadcast of the LPL. We are getting ready for quite the hyped match. I'm PiraTecnics, joined by Froskurinn here, and we will be getting into game number 1 of what is sure to be an amazing set. A lot riding on this one. Frost, you want to take this away?
Yeah, so first and foremost, it's going to be World Elite versus OMG. The most obvious standout thing is the fact that both these teams are right now tied for first place. So this match will decide who is definitively in first, but we're already going into the roster lineup. You can hear the crowd going wild. That is going to be Salmei in the top lane.
They love him.
Oh, the most popular League of Legends player in the world. The amount of votes that he got for All-Stars was unreal. Right now, obviously, last 3 played Champions, playing that Jax. I would say probably the clash of the Titans in the top lane. These are probably the best top laners in LPL facing off today.
I think so too. I might want to rename, by the way. They want to make a new show, actually, for him called Everybody Loves Salmei. But he's not the only one on that team. Axine, coming over from Korea, used to play on the Janair Stealths, actually. You've seen he's been enjoying the Lee Sin as well as Rengar.
In the mid, it's going to be Ninja. The Korean players on World Elite have the nicknames Bear and Rabbit, likewise, which is why you see the little bunny ears being put above his head.
Every time.
Every single time. Ninja's found a lot of success on utility-style mids. He's starting to branch out into Jace. We saw a little bit of Xerath. I believe he got a pentakill on Jace, so... But typically, it's kind of like a Lulu, and this being the reason why Wei Xiao, again, the crowd goes wild. Godfather of 80 carries. Has had an amazing split. People are like, is Wei Xiao back? Is he back to form? He truly looks probably better than he has in a very long time, which is, again, we talk about Ninja typically plays Lulu. The reason being is they want to put as much power on Wei Xiao as possible right now. Joining Wei Xiao in the bot lane is going to be Conan the Barbarian.
He plays the Mustache Man, too, recently.
Really good Leona, too.
He does. Not so much on the AP champs minus Morgana. We've seen that played recently, too. He didn't have too much luck. I think he's found his rhythm recently, though.
He thrives in the roaming support meta, although he was the OG of the Vel'Koz support there. He 1v1 Chuan last split on his Lee Sin versus Vel'Koz support and came out ahead, so, you know, Conan, he's got a little something on the extra.
Of course, on the other side, a team in a bit of turbulence as you look at their recent results. It is, of course, OMG. Still top of the table right now, sharing it with a couple other teams, including their opponents tonight. See if they can take this one. They split their last couple of sets, and actually, both these teams, they split their last set against each other. The only time they played each other in the LPL this season, back in week 2.
Camera guy got a little bit confused, but you are right. They have seen some turbulence. Of course, we're going to take up the support. This is going to be Cloud. He's a solo queue player, so Pomelo and Alan. Pomelo obviously benched right now. Alan moved from support, now drug into the jungle, so this is going to be Cloud. His Thresh play is god tier. Hubo likes to say that with given enough time that he will be the best support in China. Next to him, of course, San, Emperor San.
All Kog'Maw for him recently. Pretty solid player all round in general. He's going to have a tough time against Wei Xiao, though, if they go for the 2v2.
San isn't known for his lane presence. He's much better in fights. Although, hold on a second, because we got to talk about Cool, of course, in the mid lane, making that return from his eye injury. Has had fantastic showings on every single champion, brought out the Fizz. His Twisted Fate was amazing. His Xerath, definitely one of the best players in the world. Most likely the best player in China. It was definitely his first priority. I feel like this is going to be the quirky answer from Wei Xiao. That said, this is very obvious. Oh, you are right.
Okay. So yeah, we do have Lulu in the top. I got you on that one. But
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I was sort of weirded out for a second because Twisted Fate made it through, and then he was running the right summoners for it, but then he switched. So Xerath in the mid lane, and you're right, Wei Xiao on the Corki pickup. This will be at Salmei on Lulu.
supports. Morgana's available.
Yeah,
Thresh
she's
is
on the
not
table.
available. It's hard because I haven't seen Cloud. To be honest,
Whoa,
Morgana.
is he gonna go for the Leona pick?
It would
This
make
is a lot of
sense
hard engage.
with his playstyle. You think his reputation is he's a solo queue player. For his team, especially for OMG and kind of his most recent performance, it's all about him making the play. Leona
Maybe they
obviously
watch.
offers a lot of that to him. Oh, switching up at the last second.
I think I like this a little bit better, actually. It's a nice, safer disengage if things go wrong in the early game, and they have to be able to get out of bad spots with a Xerath. They're going to face down in Ninja later on in the game. Kiting becomes incredibly important, and being able to dodge away becomes incredibly important.
So looking across the compositions right now, I feel like internationally, other regions do not realize how to utilize Xerath, but I feel like China and Korea specifically have a very good grasp on this. Xerath is used in combination as in Monte Cristo likes to call it an over-the-top composition, and what that is he stands back, obviously, and he's going to LeBron James Reign of Hell down onto your backline and kind of snipe away that 80 carry, snipe away low mobile mids like Ziggs back there. He needs to be used in conjunction with either, you'll see him used with Kog'Maw, with Ezreal.